week, and I haven't got myself a coffee. So I just finished a client meeting this morning, and so people who notice that maybe I'm a little bit hectic. So my apologies. Um, but yeah, no, it's great. It's weather is really nice. There you go. So I'm live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on, of course, here Zoom. Welcome everyone. So, well, I'm just taking a couple minutes. Some of you guys, most of you guys know me quite well. Starting doing this at the end of March, and really I want to keep doing this because, you know, to be honest, I think a lot of people are already getting it. This is not going to end, and I think this is how all this crazy madness is going to end. Is depending on how we manage it. For the people who, Ryan, show your face if you can. You know what? We all guys here. I noticed, or another thing is also, I noticed most of people coming want to make a lot of money. Is actually guys, not picking on girls, and I started to understand my demographics, the people who keep coming and want to learn more about real estate. I'll let you guys know that I'm here, and I've been doing this for a while now. Yeah, it's really one big thing about my meetup groups or my Zoom calls or like my online platform is I'm making it pretty much free for a lot of people who are coming in, especially we want to get free knowledge how to invest in US, how to invest in apartments. That's my positioning, by the way. I haven't shared with all you guys, all of you guys anyway. Some of you guys know that this is my platform. Is picking something that you know not a lot of people will be actually willing to do, whether that is, you know, creating your room group, whether that is opening a Zoom call. I encourage all you guys should have your own Zoom call, by the way. All of you guys should do some sort of social media, whether that is, you know, no one's know how to do this at the beginning, and I'm certainly learning all the time. But you know what? People will pay note this. People will pay attention to that. I'm picking on you guys. People who are still not showing your face, except the ladies. Okay, ladies can. I'm okay if they don't show their face because I know that they put all the makeup and things like that. But guys, show up your face. That's not that bad. I show up my face. Scott show up the face. But
Howard, you're actually your screen is just blank right now. I'm not seeing your face.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. You know, I'm super paranoid. You know, I'm super paranoid. So I have this privacy screen, and it's just right in front of the. You guys see me okay now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Was this Scott letting me know? It was you, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So thank you, Scott. Thanks for everyone joining us. Actually, quite a bit of people keep coming to join us today. So I want to let you guys know this is number 7. I think this is number 7, and I've been doing this almost 2 months. If you guys thinking about raising capital or building credibility, that's 2 things. That's out of like this is totally separate from what I'm planning to do on this meetup calls. That's 2 things. Number 1 is to go out and do it, right? And I know this sounds pretty lame, but it is. And number 2 is to consistently doing it. If you're sharing a message, if you're trying to raise capital, the number 1 thing that is really easy is actually people will suddenly, as you keep doing it, people will stop doing it after a while. And that is all coming back to being persistent, being continuously doing this. I set up my meetup calls, my meetup meetings, but you know, but I figured that this is not enough. So what I did is I started up a Zoom call, and I do it every weekly, and I intend to keep doing this on a weekly basis. So this is number 7. Welcome everyone. Say hi. I'm giving you a chance to say hi. Hopefully you guys will reply. Say hi back, please.
Hey.
Hey, Will. And Joven, Shine and Shame. Shame. Hopefully, I didn't pronounce your name wrong, but welcome. So, um, typically, I focus a lot of the economics for at the beginning of this, but you guys know this, like we are at the beginning of this, we are starting from old ropes, old crazy moment. Now we slowly and we're coming to the moment. It's like, how do we restart the economy? How do we be opening our border? How do we do this? How do we getting better? How do we um, take advantage of this? And that has been all I say from the one. And you can YouTube me and see my first video. I said it from day one. Maybe not at this optimistic. Maybe knowing that a lot of people were thinking on the mind what will happen. But the thing is, we are already seeing state opening. We are already seeing province opening. I know, some would say they're opening too quick and whatnot, but the fact is we're opening. The fact is, eventually we're going to be come to the reckoning point that the real estate and the stock market will settle down, and it will get better, and it is going to be get this, it's going to be the opportunity of your life. I say that on number 4 and number 3 calls. I say that because the people who are doing it, some of you guys are doing it, Kuda doing it, Scott is doing it, Will's doing it with me, and I say that all along. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. If you didn't get on the last wagon last time, during the dot-com boom, during the GFC '08, this is your time. I share 2 success stories of my personal self because I want to give you guys some motivation at the end of the day. This is possible. It's possible for me who have done it previously, and I'm intending doing it right now again, and I think you should do it too. Okay, let's get on it. So this is about a Zoom call. How I started from 20,000 student loan when I was when I graduated from electrical engineering in 2004, and eventually grow by partnering people, doing it myself, and building, building your credibility, and eventually hold large real estate holding. We currently own 50 million real estate holdings in 3 countries, in Canada, in US, and in China and Hong Kong. I guess 4, but Hong Kong and China is really one country, and I respect that. So the answer is really following a pre-designed step-by-step process. I shared the screens last time, but I think it's worth sharing this. I put it here again. In 2017, I started to share people, how do you invest in multifamily? You know what? I'm very green at the time. I'm still learning a lot at the things. But you know what? I go out and build my credibility, so to speak. You can build your credibility, especially, I'm going to say, you need to build your credibility whenever you don't have credibility, whenever you don't have a Facebook page, whenever you don't have a LinkedIn, you don't have a good website, and you don't have a track record, and you don't have a whole bunch of investors investing with you, like what I'm doing now. You should do it right now. And Shame's talking about, I'm electric engineers, masters in my past life, and fantastic. There you go. People like me, I'm engineer. I don't know how to speak. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of engineering in the room. And feel free to chime in, feel free to say that you're an engineer. I know at least one other guy is an engineer or accountants here or technical background. But you know what the thing is, and on the chat group, you can open as soon as you say something respectfully for other people. You can say that open. I encourage you guys to do it. First, 2012. So that was 2017. I would start sharing, but I first come into U.S. real estate in single families in 2012, and already late. Coming in already late. I was coming in not knowing what it's like. The real estate cycle. I know nothing about real estate cycle in 2012. I know nothing about investing in U.S. I know definitely absolutely doesn't know anything about investing commercial. I look at all this big building. I was like, my gosh, one of these days I'm going to own. Hopefully, I'm going to own. At that time, my language is hopefully I'm going to own. Side story is, I was talking to 2 investors this morning, and one of them in Hong Kong, another the Hong Kong guy invests in Walmart, invests in big shops, commercial office, retail buildings, and the other girl that I get lately got hooked up by a common friends who's also in this call. And why, you wonder why some people are able to build credibility. Some people are able to build on their relationships. You guys so-called like the big people, the big shot or whatever, is from credibility. And open up to you guys. You guys have to do it because you're either going to be born with a lot of money, and I don't. I'm sure not everyone have a lot of money first going into real estate. But that's how you do this. When you create a deal flow, and I said it many times, you create a deal flow, you follow a systematic ways to do this, you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful like some other people, like who have been done in it, who've been doing it, like myself, other people who have been doing it. So my first story, go back. So I first started in 2012, I already investing in Canada. I started investing in 2006, but I know nothing about US. But this is also the time. Remember, 2008, 2009 was really sketchy, really shady. The world's going down. Feel like what we are into right now, and about 2012, I finally get the guts. I finally get some money going on. At that time, 40,000 US is a lot of money for me. So basically, a lot of people after I did this, like, how do you do it? Like, how do you go and US and buy houses? You know what? I just call free brokers. That's actually literally what I do. I call free brokers. I broke 5 viewing to see property on one weekend, and then I make a free offer at the end of the weekend, and then I got one, and then that's how you do it. And forget about the tax. I'm not saying that you forget about the tax and structure and things like that, but all I'm saying is you don't need to have everything in place, including me. Like, I'm an engineer. A lot of you guys are engineer, always analyzing. I know how you guys feel. Always analyzing. You're gonna make sure everything is just tucked in the row. I will make sure there's no tax liability. You know what? The truth is, it's good to think like that. It's good to be prepared. But if you're an engineer like me, I used to start, gas engine, compressor engines. So there are 12 cylinders, like occupying in a big room like this. It's probably 50,000 feet, and I'm trying to put a horsepower. Is like, I think it's like 7,000 horsepower. A 4-stage gas compression. You guys know, if you're in the oil and gas industry, you know what I'm talking about. I used to start up things like that. They have complete setup, startup sequence, and shutdown key and things like that. So we got really safe. We got very, very safe. My thing is, so I started up. I didn't design that. I was scaling the crap out of that. I started a sequence. Basically, were programmed by another engineer who has been tested and tested and tested and tested. So long story short is, I was the operator of that sequence, and I got called up because in the middle of the night, no one's want to wake up. I wake up like 2 a.m. I run from the hotel. It's drive me about 35 minutes and get to the hotel. And it's like, I'm here, so let's start at the engine. Well, I'm telling you that sometimes you have to trust the system. I didn't die. No one's died, and this plant is still running. The plant's worth 180 million to build. I was one of the engineers who been on the plant side. Well, I'm telling you that it's very simple. You don't have to know how to do the system. Sometimes you do, but you trust the people who have done it. And I certainly trust people who have been invested from Canada to US. I certainly do place on trust. I place my trust. And everyone's saying that we were crazy, by the way. Only people who were doing that at that time were our friends' parents. Guess what? They're 60, 70 years old. And I was like literally, how old were I? I was 32 years old. And you know what? People starting to pay notice. The reason I'm telling you this, that's how you build credibility. Do something, pick something that no one want to do, pick up a group. That's a lot of meetup group out there. That's basically people don't want to do it, give up meetup group. That's how I started this group, by the way. I started with a group of 50 people or whatever, and then I inherit that. People don't want to keep doing what they need to do to build the credibility. So I did that. And people don't want to invest in more lucrative place, such as US, such as China. I do that, and certainly partner with other people. But do something that maybe scare, but not too scared, maybe a little bit scary, that no one's really want to do. And I promise you, at the end of the day, you're gonna build credibility, because at the end of the day, people follow you. People follow you when you do something crazy, when you do something that they want to do, but in the imagination, they somehow that's the missing part. So that's my first story. So at the end of the day, I make about double the money, and then make money on the exchange rate, and make money by buying the properties. And you know the stories at Phoenix at 2012, and I sold it a few years back, 2 years back, and I make but double the money. That's my own money, by the way. At that time, I don't know about raising capital. I know that I need to do it because me and my wife were talking. You know what? We have to do it. We have to do it. And I think that's the opportunity at that time, right? And long story short, we did it, and it was scary. But you know what? It's not really that scary because we didn't have to manage the properties. We have to. I think we have to manage eviction at one time at that property, and the whole time we never see that property after that. This is how crazy this is. We never see the property. Only when we saw the properties is the first time when we were at the place, and we literally. I know that it was a. I was going to put some pictures on this slide, but I was very busy this morning. I have a Hong Kong call, and so the time zone things, I have to make sure that I game it in. I can join in. So I didn't put the pictures, but it was I got in 130,000. I get in 160 something. So I make money from the mortgage, and make money from the cash flow every month, and make money from the exchange rate. Long story short, fear is in here. But if you like me, if you're one of the guys who keep joining us every week, every week, and learn a bunch about the information of how to buy real estate, I'm gonna tell it to you. You learn enough. You learn enough, because at the end of the day, it's people who like us, who like me, who are able to take the actions, and whether those action is 100% correct or not, it doesn't matter. That's how they pay attention to you. This doesn't work. Okay. So my second story. Okay, my second story is this is later on in my investing life, and it's already, I say, screw this engineering. You know what? I have enough of this. I need to start doing something really meaningful. I've been always eyeing on commercial. I don't know what I was going to do. But I'm the guy, like probably some of you guys, looking at the building is like, when I'm going to buy that building. I'm one of those guys. And of course, people laugh, right? And people laugh, and I'm the one, the guy, and tell myself, I'm gonna build the best meetup group in Calgary. I'm one of the guy. I'm sure some of the guys probably may not be talking about it, but you guys had one point in your life probably think of, I want to do something great, And this is the moment, by the way. This is the moment for me, and I already have experience in international investing. Remember I'm investing in China and Hong Kong. I'm also investing in US, even though I'm not commercial level, but I'm also investing in Canada. So I'm like, you know what? That's the time to grow up. That's the time to grow up. That's what I'm saying to you guys. That's the time to grow up. So, but 2016, I start to learn about how to do commercial. I have someone to hold my hand. I go into meetings after meetings, going to networking after networkings, and I think at 1 year, at consecutive 2 years, I was going to 10 different cities at 10 to 12 trips during the year for 2 years. And the only thing that I was doing, researching market and partnering and meeting people in USI, and going to Washington, going to Long Beach in California, going to different places, Boston's, and eventually give me Ohio, Detroit. So all these places give me a sense of comfort. Basically, give me a sense of, what, maybe I can do this. And that's the time that I start looking at multifamily. That's the time that I'm looking multifamily as a Canadian. You know what? I already told you that I'm crazy. I already told you that, I want to pick up something that people don't want to do it. People are always saying, what? So you investing in US. So do you get your tax ready? I know the answer, by the way, because I do have a USA accountant to help me for that. And the second question is like they really like to come up with, do you have how to raise capital, right? That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you today. How to raise capital. And so they talk about capital, they talk about the tax, the structures, is it safe, and things like that. I'm going to tell you, if you're watching this video, take it as a sign. I'm telling you again, some people have told me many times. It's not about getting everything ready, because everything will not be ready. Every deal that you look will be different. Every market you go into will be different. the people who are going to make so much money when this market crash, I'm talking about 3 to 6 months, it's going to be people who are doing the work right now. Get it? So again, so this is 2016. The market was really going up, and so my this is one guy who told me at that time. He said, "No, Howard." He didn't tell me, but he's telling he's telling that 500 people or something like that. He's like, you know what? But you know what? When the market crash, and you think you have no knowledge, no relationships in the market, and no team, and no knowledge on the market, will be able to take advantage if you start at that moment. Oh, I get it. So you have to do the work now. So again, so that's how I started. That's how I started, and raising $500,000 in real estate at that time. That's really scary moment, because I thought I didn't know whole crap. I didn't know a lot, and I raised the money, and eventually buy the first commercial real estate, and we basically do based on the books what they tell us to do. Proven system, get it? Proven system. To do the renovation, negotiate, make an offer, close the property, do the renovation, raise the rent, do the market research, bring in the investors with the raise with the raising with the credibility that we have been doing along the work for along the years in town, Asia's, and US. We do that. So that's my secondary. So that's why I'm saying this is not the first time we've seen this. This is the first time I see things like this going on. So I even kid, this is God sent golden opportunity arrive right now in 2020. And if you have doubt, let me tell you, everyone have doubt in 03 and in 99 and in 2000 and September 11, everyone had doubt in 08, and everyone certainly, including me, have doubt in 2016. It wasn't even that market. But let me tell you, if you have doubt, that's normal. Take it as a sign that you're going to go all in right now, deal a pulling back, as in this is the challenging moment that as an owner, they have problems, and they're going to be, all this problem is going to be surfaced about 3 to 6 months, and it's only for the people who have to do the work right now, meaning hopefully you and definitely me. And that's why I was waking up. I was waking up at 7:30 this morning, kind of late. Long story short is my investor in US telling me, is like, what the heck, man, you're not waking up. And so she had been calling me and emailing me for the whole night, and my phone, it were in the basement somewhere. And but that's how you build a credibility. That's how you build a relationship, by the way. So all this possible by going from having student loan, a lot of people like me have student loan, to have a real estate holding, and it's followed by a pre-designed step-by-step program, and it's by building credibility. So this is me. We go over that quite a bit. So I invested in multifamilies. I started in 2006, and I start something like this, really starting something like this, offline, online. At 2017, I've been talking to multiple events. I've been speaking with big guys like Brian Tracy and Sunil in Toronto. Some of you guys know this if you're in Toronto. And I've been doing all these things. But the thing is, what is credibility? So all those is good. But I know some of you guys thinking, you know what? I don't have all those big marketing budgets. So that's why I create this. That's why, by the way, I create this so that not everyone's willing to spend what I was spending previously. We're able to maybe get a sense of what this is all about, and distill it in 3 simple steps. First of all, pick a problem to start. If there's no problem, that's no opportunity. Number 2, build bigger. When everyone's going the other way, they want to go smaller, build bigger, because bigger can feed a lot of people, and literally, figuratively. When you have a deal that is 100 million size, you can feed a lot of people. You can feed a lot of people who have the capital. They don't have 100K to invest with you. They have multi millions, and they have to get into deals like that. And in order for them to participate, you have to build bigger. And in order to attract those people coming in, you have to have a bigger vision. And that's why multifamilies. Sharing when no one's willing to share, that's a big thing. I noticed this is for myself, and you may not have to do something similar, but I noticed this when I was starting sharing again multifamily in Canada. I started sharing multifamily in Canada about how to do it multifamily. Number one, not everyone's doing it in multifamilies when they're 30s. I was doing it, and no one's willing to do it in US. I was doing it. Definitely no one's want to share. You know, you have the niche. Pick something that you have the niche. Okay. Number one, pick a problem, and worse, but better yet, pick a big problem. So I didn't believe in non-cash flow real estate, and people coming from the East already know that because I'm always talking about it. People coming from Calgary knowing that I'm not a big fan of real estate doesn't cash flow, because real estate, number one thing, if it doesn't cash flow, sorry, it's a dream. It's not about real estate or not real estate, to be honest. It's about whether you're picking the real estate right or wrong. You know, investing in Calgary, I've been saying all along, buying 150,000 per doors and only getting 800, 900 bucks. Basically, you use your back in the envelope calculation. You talk about 0.50%. I know in commercial we don't do it like that, but I'm giving you a sense of you use the rent divided by the price, okay? And it doesn't make sense because it's only 0.5. When you go to other places in US, go to some remote places, maybe the market is not like super hot, you can able to cash flow. So basically, my problem is I search in Canada, and they either very hard to cash flow or they really low return on the investment. So that's my problem. So my solution is, you know what? I started in 2012. That's to be honest, that's how I stumble upon into US, because there's no way I can cash flow in Canada. You know, people are really creative. You know, they talk about bought house, student housing, things like that. When you have to do that, sure, but I would always say that if you can make cash flow by doing all those kind of crazy steps, bought housing, student housing, and put 5 people into one place that, you know, supposed to be one family, and if you're doing it in Canada, think about what you can make to US to do similar things. The reason why people are not comfortable, especially investing in Canada, in US, is because there's a fear. There's a fear that, you know what, and that's what I'm trying to help you to overcome. And I also tell you this: if all your peers is doing Canadian investing, you think you'll be having better chance to raise capital, or harder to raise capital, harder chance to raise a capital, if you are telling them that do the other things. I say that all the time. If everyone's selling hamburgers, don't sell hamburgers. If everyone's selling coffee, don't sell coffee. Try to sell something else. Try to sell something, because you know what? There's no value to that. Or if everyone trying to sell hamburger, that's basically marketing 101, by the way. If everyone trying to sell a hamburger, and if you're trying to sell a hamburger, you're providing the same product to the customer, in this case, in the investors, and your product is going to become a really good product. Like originally, burgers really good, the coffee is really good. To becomes eventually, you know what it's going to be? It becomes a commodity. When you're trying to sell a commodity, the commodity price will go down to the bare minimums that, you know, basically supply and demand, and you don't want to do that. That's the whole thing about me telling people, don't pick something easy. Pick a problem. The bigger the problem. I think even Alibaba, Jack Ma say that. Pick a big problem. Pick a problem that people don't want to solve, and you will, first of all, again, I'm strictly talking about strictly talking about the idea of tackling something big problem, because when you have a big problem, the thing is, have I lost you guys? Hello?
I'm still
We're
here.
here.
Okay, good. I see a blip in the screens, and I'm like, oh shoot. Okay. So that was my problem. So I cannot cash flow in Canada, and I say, you know what? Let's do something crazy and let's invest in the US. And my result, you know, again, from the perspective of building credibility, I gain better credibility, because when I go to networking event, everyone, you know, anyone go to networking event, everyone's talking about investing in flips. Everyone's investing in single families, right? I know you guys. Hopefully, you guys are nodding because that's how I see. And everyone talking about JV, and everyone talking about investing in that home and maybe build the basement and build the top. I was thinking of that. It's like, oh gosh, how I'm gonna be able. That's what I was thinking. If I'm having the same product here, which meaning single families, and I was doing single families, right? How I'm able to compete with all these people? You know what? I try. I talk to many guys, and they basically this is lesson of positioning. This is lesson of positioning. I wasn't positioning myself correctly to raise capital with having the credibility backing me. Basically, I'm chasing the money instead of attracting the money. So, but come back to this. Number one, pick a problem to start. Invest in US. That's my solutions at that time as a Canadian. And I say, and eventually, there's more and more people who liking what I say, and I keep sharing that. Number two, build bigger. My problem when I started investing. Remember, this is another story. I didn't say it as a story, but this is actually a success story. I was trying to buy my home, and being an engineer, not making a lot of money when I started. I think I make my first engineering job and make like 40,000 Canadian, so it was worth equivalent 30,000 US. But basically, long short, my mortgage broker complained to me and said, "Your income is too low." I was like, "What do you mean your income too low? I'm engineering professional, man. Like seriously, right?" And he's like, "Your income too low. I cannot qualify you for a home." And I was so embarrassed. And I was so embarrassed because I was thinking I was working 40 hours a week, and I know this is not doctor, this is no iBanker, but I'm hoping able to qualify. I'm hoping able to buy something that I can keep building on. I see a lot of people doing that one by one, single families. My aunt is doing it. Eventually they get the 3 or 4 houses after 25 years, 30 years doing this single families. And you know what? I don't want that. So eventually I figured out the problem is too small. The problem is too small because the eye is too small. They want to build maybe 10 units, maybe 5 units. So I immediately noticed, like after not immediately notice, eventually I noticed is, my problem is I have a too small of a problem, meaning that I'm on, trying to survive instead trying to find a bigger problem to solve. So I start expanding the US. Expanding myself basically is basically the solutions of building credibility. When you tell investors, just imagine this scenario. You're talking to investors. The investors is going to answer you. In fact, the investor just asked me this morning. The Hong Kong investor asked me, so what have you done? And so basically he's saying that what have you done other than the single families? So I tell him, like, I invest in Hong Kong, in China, invest in Midwest. That's just my projects I've been doing, able to raise capital and able to increase the equity over millions for my first project. So the problem is I was having too small of a problem. When I was talking to investor that years and years ago, and it's really hard to stand out. It's really hard to stand out because my goal was too small. And I was telling them that, this is my single flip, this is my single families. You know what? It's hard to attract capital. If you are trying to buy, okay, this is, I hope if you keep coming, your mind is probably focusing on, I want to buy this, like multi-million apartment building, 50 units, 100 units. You know what? But the thing is, you have to actually do it. You have to actually build the bigger dreams. You have to actually start showing bigger deals to the investors. You have to start believing in yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. So my solution is I start to go outside of what I was used to do. So I go to US, I go to China, I go to Hong Kong, go to other Canadian parts, and start looking at deals. So that's why I look at Canada. Multifamily deals doesn't work because I hate overpaying and underpaying, under receiving the rent. That's my passion. I hate under receiving the rent. I like to pay 30 to 50,000 per doors in US, many parts of the US, and to get rent that is meaningful. So again, I gain better credibility by investing in something bigger, because when I'm looking at this 1.3 million buildings, I can invest with this investor 50K, and we can invest with this investor 100K. I can put a lot of people into my deals. If I'm looking at single families, it's hard to do it. But build bigger credibilities. Building biggers is the direct result of I say building result is a bigger. Okay, it is the direct result of building bigger effect on my credibility building. So so the reason that you can attract people into your dream, your deals, and telling people that you should be investing with me or you should be doing something with me is because you have bigger dreams. Problem number 3. So my problems when I start doing this, remember I was still doing it all by myself. I was still doing. I was still thinking that I'm too shaky to talk to investors. I was in the big in my mind. It's like, what do I know? I'm just investing in single families. The loser me is coming out. I wasn't getting this right. I wasn't getting this right because I was trying to do everything my own. So I didn't share. I didn't also keep everything to myself. I learned a lot, but I didn't share. Number 3, my problem is when I start investing, I start this by myself. Remember, I did not have anyone to share. The problem is, it is what I was thinking. So I was sitting in a coffee shop, waiting for my first attendee to show up. My solution: share when no one is willing to share. Give the people positive news when people are so negative. So my niche is multifamily. Maybe you have different niche. Maybe your niche is the same. Maybe your niche is investing in Canada. Maybe your niche is investing in US. Perfect. But no one's were willing to share, at least at that time, for free. No one's doing this week in and week out. No one wanted to do it. So it's like, fantastic, I'm going to do it. So I gain much better credibility by willing to share. I gain much better credibility by sharing my vision. I keep telling all my meetups people, it's like, I want to build the biggest, best meetup communities that's going to be for free. That's going to be for people to coming in. And if you want to keep doing other things, obviously nothing is free forever. But if you want to do things, just coming in and network, and you can. I never stop. In fact, I always encourage you guys to show up your face, and you know what. And you can't be shy and raise capital if you're not showing your face, by the way. And you cannot be shy and not network and don't give your 30-second speeches to other people if you're trying to raise capital. So you have to do it. Come on, guys, you have to do it. So my direct result of being bigger is to build a community, to win the share, and eventually people will latch on. So that's my 3 so-called result. Bigger group, more people to showing up in my meetings, and more meetings frequently. And that's how it makes it possible to raise the capital. And even you don't have the capital, a lot of people like me, when starting, don't have capital. You don't have to have capital, but you have to be willing to do the work. So again, I say that define the step-by-step proven system. I follow these steps. I didn't invent this, but I make it so that it's workable for Canadians, makeable for Canadians to invest in US, makeable for people who doesn't have experience like me to building research, raising capital, building credibility, building teams, offering, underwriting, learn to lead, basically another word of creating your team and manage your construction team and local team and financing it. So what's credibility eventually? So it's meaning that you go to all this event and trying to network as much as possible, and on magazine, website, writing books. This is my 8 steps. So some of the recap that I want to go through on today, recap as in what I've been doing. So those are the 3 things that I share, the 2 stories and 3 nuggets that how I use myself as like example to build credibility. But you see me, I still building social posts, social media posts, and I have Zoom call, I have monthly bootcamp, I have my my own training program. I have my mentorship meetings, my direct communications, direct texting, communications to my existing investors, and my broker relationships. So I talk to my brokers all the time. So this is my daily actions. And my result of that is I wrote this in my email. So I set up 11 Zoom calls in March to May, and I set up a whole bunch of emails, and all this cost me a lot of capital, and also non-capital. You don't remember I told you that you don't have to spend a lot of capital to do this. So basically, do this. This is how I build my credibility by doing multiple actions. And by keep doing it and recognizing this is an opportunity to buy. And I say that whether you keep coming to meetings or not, mark my word, a lot of people has been paying attention. The reason I'm on the call with this morning, the story, I wake up at 7:55. In fact, my investor wake me up and tell me that you have to get on this call because international investors is looking at the opportunity right now. You figure why all these people will have millions and multi millions, they're looking at the real estate market, looking at the market to take advantage of this. Well, it's because they know this. They haven't seen this music. I was when I was driving back. Remember, like I got kicked out of my room. I'm driving back really hazardly, and then I say, you know what? I'm gonna get how I think of a example. How do people realize that this is a great opportunity? It's like playing a music. You know, you have to know the music stop only when you have been listening to the music all along. Let me say that again. If you have been seeing this movie again and you see this movie before and you know this is the time that the music got on pause. Whatever the reason that the music got on pause, I'm not going to get into it. This is too political. The music put on pause, and millions of people is to stop.
Hey Howard, we lost your audio. No audio.
This is
There you go.
Thank you. So millions of people has been put on no jobs. Millions of people have been put and go back to home. And let's just be a little bit PC. People know me, I'm not too PC, politically correct. Let's just say that it's a massive reconfiguration of wealth. Okay, and millions of people are going to know on jobs, and I know the government is supporting you, but you and I know this. Eventually, they're not going to support you forever, right? But look at it from the silver linings. Okay, I'm not trying to tell you to be all doom and gloom. I'm not telling you that. I haven't been saying that. I'm not going to start now. But this is a golden opportunity right now. When the real estate, think about that, in 3 to 6 months, it's going to correct it 20 to 30%. In fact, one of my deals already corrected. I put it on here on the screens here. Already corrected 20%. Think about what will happen when people are not paying tomorrow or like 2 days from now. I think it's first of May. When people are having trouble paying in Canada and US. I'm connected to some of the guys who are along real estate, a lot of real estate. As far as I know, the date were April 1st in US, and I confirmed that we're getting better. In our apartments, we able to get 90% collections. We okay. But you know this, the music has stopped, literally stopped. Someone pause, plus the button, stop, and it has stopped, right? And eventually, the massive wave of wealth reconfiguration is going to come. And I said it all along. You wonder why I'm doing this? You wonder why I'm doing this every week? Like I don't doing this every week before, because I know the opportunity is coming. I need to make some noise. I need to keep building my credibility. And that's how I do my credibility, by doing multiple action, by doing multiple calls, by creating noise, creating communications, creating meetups, doing something that no one's doing it, right? No one's really want to do it consistently anyway. Everyone can do it once a week or 2 weeks. I know that. But no one's want to doing it consistently. And you want to do it, and you're going to create some noise, and you're going to build a free credibility, so-called. And I'm going to leave it to you guys. And that's, I want to end this because my cell phone is running out of battery. So I'm open up for questions for you guys. Hello? Questions? No questions?
I'm good.
I didn't have any questions, but yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, I think you had to inspire people you just inspired some of us to get out there and do more things to let people know what we're doing.
Well, you're good. You're good. You're doing things. You absolutely right. You go create a relationship. I know you're creating the broker relationships, and in Arizona and you're in the closest south of the border into towards Mexico, keep doing it. Um, we have a lot of love for the U.S. people, for the U.S. Brothers and sisters in the U.S. Yeah, so that's how you create credibility by when we're talking free credibility anyway, by not putting on the newspaper, by not putting out books, expensive books and things like that. You can build up your credibility. Okay, so leave it up to you guys, and thank you for coming again. I enjoyed, at least I enjoy myself. I don't know how about you guys. I enjoyed getting out of my system, and so I see you guys next Wednesday, and good luck everyone. Then you go do a lot of actions. Go pick something, or like go pick something that no one has been doing it, and I think that's gonna be good for people who are want to do some big things. Definitely go after those big goals, guys. Okay, guys. Thank
All
you.
right, Howard. Thank you.
Thanks, Howard.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot,
Ryan.
Howard.
Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks so very much. Sunshine, I think I lost you 1 point. I just add you back, but I have a recording a video later on that for you guys to. I know some of you guys still working at home, so I'm going to keep it replaying so you guys can watch it later on. Okay, guys, gonna end it like that now. Ciao.